What's going on, everybody? This is Brian Mazik, aka Unique Mazik. I am the hardest working man in sports and gaming, and it's my pleasure to speak to heavy on Cardinals beat writer Ryan Sanudo. What's going on today, Ryan?
Oh, I mean, today with Facebook, everything is in a hiatus, but I'm glad to be here, Brian. And what a week in football.
Man, crazy good weekend of football. Mildly big game took place in Foxborough on Sunday night, so we definitely saw that win. But we got to talk about the Cardinals because I think most people expected the Cardinals to be a solid team this year. Solid, but I think that the amount of, first of all, 4-0, but it's not just 4-0. I think it's the way that they've reached 4-0. And I think Kyler Murray I think it was Kyler Murray that said this last week. He said last year we would have lost this game. Mm-hmm. And just so talk a little bit to me about what is some of the biggest differences that you see the Cardinals this year compared to last year.
Well, first, they're not reliant on DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, you're looking at a team that has AJ Green having the most receiving yards in 2021. If you told me that before the season, I would have just laughed and said, oh my God, this is going to be a terrible season. But they're 4-0. They're distributing the ball everywhere. They're getting guys open every single drive. And the big thing compared to last year, there's no negative plays. I mean, the offensive line has been carrying. You have Rodney Hudson as a new free agent addition. Justin Pugh has been great. So there's no negative plays. And when that doesn't happen, the sky is the limit. And, they haven't been playing cookie cutter teams. They've played the Rams just now and they blew them out. The Titans, even though they have a bad defense, you got to win week 1 and they did. So even the Vikings as well. So this is a team that they could even get better as the season progresses, and they still haven't played the Seahawks with a defense that's suspect. So this is a team that completely has changed the outlook in terms of coaching, in terms of, finding ways to get Murray, to put the ball anywhere he wants. And let's not forget about Max Williams either. This is a guy that no one even heard about nationally, and he got 5 catches the other day, including a touchdown. So the sky's the limit for this team.
Yeah, I have really definitely been impressed with them from an offensive standpoint. I definitely think they're, on the defensive side of the ball, I think you hit on this. I think there's some room for growth there for sure. There is one particular player, and I talked about him a little bit last week, and I think that he's had, I would say, through the first 3 weeks of the season, first 2 weeks of the season, he had some surprising performances, but I think there's even more on the horizon for Rondale Moore. Rondale Moore is such an exciting player, from how dynamic he is with his hands on the ball. And I could see that they're trying to find ways to just get him the ball. I think he had 2 rushes this past week, didn't break any of them, but he's the kind of dude that when he comes on the floor, the other defense has to say, there's whatever signal it is to recognize that this guy's on the field. You have to take notice. I think he is potentially an X factor, a secret weapon kind of guy for the Cardinals moving forward.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the injuries in college, he would have been a first-round pick, most likely. His speed, his range, he's not just a guy that you just can put, a screen here and there. This is a guy that can go downhill as well. Mm-hmm. And they haven't even done that yet. So that's scary to even think about him, going, to the deep route and, Murray getting him the ball 30 yards away. But this is a guy that you just have to realize, like, this guy is a rookie. And you're seeing these things. This isn't like the second year or third year. This is a guy that really, he had a breakout game in week 2 against the Vikings. He actually got them a field goal right before halftime where he just evaded 3 or 4 defenders to get themselves into field goal range. So this is a guy that, I mean, I don't know how defenses can even plan him, because you also have to think, okay, they have Hopkins. They have AJ Green, Christian Kirk, the running backs. So it's very unpredictable. And I got to give a lot of credit to Cliff Kingsbury, because a lot of people were talking about him in a negative way. And he was, I think, in the top 8 or so in potential, hot seats in the NFL, and this guy has really put a lot of defenses, in shambles. And I think that has a lot to do with, the fact that he's using these guys effectively in every single down and every single time they have the football.